Hello, everybody, and welcome to this Quantum You Masterclass. I'm so excited to see everybody here, and even those who are going to go and join us afterwards and watch the recording. Welcome to you guys too. You can actually access whatever we are saying. It makes no difference. You're going to have just as much benefit from it. So let's just kick it off. So first, before I start with anything, I would love you guys just to take a deep breath, because, you know, if you're not in the moment, if you're not in the now, you're going to miss out on these little golden gems that are going to give you. You know, it's not about incredible amount of knowledge. It's about understanding what I'm saying and using it daily. So first of all, what we always do in Quantum You, we get you back to the now, because we have a lot of times we are thinking about, oh, what is this going to be like? Is it going to be okay? You might be thinking of some arguments you had before, or something might be going on in your mind. So just for now, just take a deep breath. That's always a very good way just to get into the now, into the present. Just take a deep breath. Just relax. And now, the best you can, just allow for all these thoughts that are flying through your mind right now. It could be something you're thinking of that you still have to do today. Take you out of the present. Christy, could you please just mute?
Well,
thank you. And just allow, now if something you're thinking, maybe you could be thinking of an argument you had, or last week something really stressed you out. You had a very, very busy week and you haven't actually managed to really come back to rest. And it's like you're using the weekend as a safe place, as a forgetting away place. And, you know, Sundays, a lot of us tend to think of this day as in a negative way, because Monday is tomorrow. So just come back to the now and allow everything that is just to be. Just allow people to be idiots, allow arguments, allow something that triggered you this week. Could you just allow that to be? Allow all the expectations you have in this free class. Allow it to be what is. Could you allow any tension that you have from wanting and needing to control what is for now? Maybe you're finding it hard to concentrate at the moment. Instead of resisting it, just allow it to be that way. The more you try to concentrate, the more you will not be able to concentrate. So just allow that to be. Just allow everything at home to be what is. Allow your cooking to be what is. Allow the things that I said before of this week, just be what is. And come back to now. You are spirit. And by allowing for all these things, you're just letting it pass through, and you're staying in the moment, which is here now. Allow for love, allow for fun, and allow for peace and rest to be here right now. And allow for enjoyment and relaxation. So this is like your wellness time for you to enjoy the now. And then you can just open your eyes if you had your eyes closed. So today we're going to start with you as the house of prayer. Now, prayer is something that people think you go and do in a corner alone. Now, probably it could be that too, but we pray all the time. You are in a place where your heart is the creative reservoir, of everything you're entangled with. So today we're going to show you how you can live free from being involved in everything that happens to you. Remember, we spoke about this free class being about governing the things around you and not the things around you governing you. So by involved, I mean that after the session today, you go from emotional addiction to whatever is going on in your life and being more aware and not so attached and governed by everything that is going on around you. Now, first of all, you have to understand why you are creating the things that you are creating. And, understanding precedes anything. So, even if you do not want to create the things that you create, maybe sometimes you feel worried and you just don't want to worry, but you can't help yourself. And we're going to find out why you are stuck in your own creation. You are made so powerfully. Now, most of us know this. And if you come from a religious background, you kind of have an idea, you are made like God, but that seems so far off, God is there and I am here. Yet we understand today, and most of you on this call do understand, that you are one with God. So you are like a hologram. God is the essence, and you are being projected into this reality and this surrounding that you came into. You came into this world as the hologram of God. So you are a reflection of God himself. You're made so amazingly and given the power to create every single moment of your life. You have the freedom to choose. Now, most of you know this, but you have the freedom to choose how to respond and perceive everything. Now you are equal to God. I know sometimes it seems so far off, but this is why we're sitting here today. And this is why you came on this call. So it can go from complicated and mystic to practical, and you being able to use it in your daily life. You were created that every single desire will be fulfilled, whatever this desire looks like. Now, most of us, when we hear the word desire, we always tend to think of a desire a house, or I'm desiring a car, I'm desiring something amazing. Yet, your heart does not know the difference, what kind of a desire it is. Science tells us that your surface mind does not know what negative is. You were created so amazingly, negative doesn't exist for you. So it will produce whatever it is given, whatever. So you see the responsibility in governing how we think and feel. So we know that feeling links us to creating something. But how does this work? So your surface mind follows whatever you are telling it. So you are feeling emotions, and that links us to the reservoir of your heart that brings forth your desires. Now that's pretty simple, okay? So how does it work? So you observe something, you're in a situation, you hurt your knee, for instance. I mean, probably all of you have hurt your knee before, or you lost a job that's a little bit more intense, or something happened. Now, at the moment where you're sitting there, is there anything that you could think of right now? Maybe you have a pain in your body, or there is something that you're dealing with. So just take a moment and think of something you are dealing with while I'm talking to you. So this stays like, don't just listen to me, just bring it into your life, because then it makes it more real. The more you experience something, the more you'll remember how to use it in your life. So when you start to think upon it, okay, you think about what the doctor said, or you just walk down the stairs and you think, oh my gosh, I really hurt my knee. It could be getting worse. But you're not consciously thinking. All of you know this feeling. You're thinking of it. The surface mind is bringing these thoughts. So you think, maybe you lost your job, you think of a world recession. Now it went from losing your job, not paying anything, never getting a job again. So you mull over it in your head. Remember I said, you are the house of prayer, again and again. And what is that? It's meditating, chewing, like you thinking upon it. Now, up to now, there has just been information. It's just been something that happened. Depending on where you are on your journey, it's going to feel, it's going to be more dramatic. But when you've started walking this out, it will have a less of a intense effect when something like that happens in future. So up to now, like I said, there's just information. So you're thinking, you're mulling, now you're starting to pray. This is a form of prayer, meditating on it. And then what happens? Out of your heart comes a feeling. Now, in this case, the sore knee has just been a sore knee, up to you mulling over it, up to becoming a story that it could be something the doctor has to operate, etc., etc., etc. And then what happens? You feel worry. You start worrying. Now a feeling attached to the information you were mulling over. You worry, fear, sadness happens. Note the feeling did not come before the incident. You had the incident, then the feeling came. So now this is the most amazing. When the feeling came, pondering on the outcome, praying, it dropped into your creative reservoir, your heart. As it dropped into your creative reservoir, it brought forth something. It doesn't have to be something you want, but it's because the heart only processes what is given, it brings forth exactly that. Isn't that incredibly powerful? So the more you're mulling over it, more intense it gets, the more stories you create around it. Feeling, boom, it goes into your creative reservoir that every single person on this earth has. And out of your heart flows the issues of life. Out of your heart, things start creating on the outer world. Okay, so it starts mulling. It's in science, it's called a particle was created. So a reality was created. So it became a substance. So faith, as the scriptures say, faith is a substance of things not yet seen, okay, but things believed. So it's a substance before you see it outside of you. But as I said before, and this is very important, it does not matter if you feel fear or you feel abundant. Either way, it's being created because you are in the image of God himself. You are spirit, you are energy. So you are given your desires of your heart. So now we all know that is just not so nice when you're given that desire of worry. You're given the desire of fear, reproducing fear all the time. And now you decide, you're sitting here and you said, okay, I'm going to do this differently. You settle yourself into a trusting process and surrender all low vibrational frequency like fear. So now I'm just going to show you, if you have the situation, now you hurt your knee, what I would do is I will catch my thoughts and go, okay, I'm allowing it to be what it is. It is information. It's telling me my knee just got hurt. I'm letting go of wanting and needing to control what is wrong with my knee. I just let it go. I surrender it. And I do it until I have a deep sense of gratitude and calmness. So it could be that you're fearful about the knee. So you feel the knee. It's not that you're not aware of something going on. We're not ignoring that your knee was sore or that you lost your job. We are just dealing with the emotions that cause the attachment to your outer world or whatever is going on. And then I would allow it. And I feel a pain again. I would just allow the pain to be. I will allow the worry. I will allow the fear. I will allow whatever is coming up in my heart that is not as God is, because God is not insecure. God is not worried. God is not upset. So I go back to the essence of who I am as God is. And I just let go and surrender what does not look like that. So now the truth drops into your reservoir and brings forth your desire of your knee being okay. It just happens automatically. It's kind of you step out of the way and spirit takes over and everything is energy. So that response spirit, we are not 0.001% materia, like matter, sorry. I get so confused between, sometimes I mess up my words between German and English, been here too long. So matter is 0.001%. It's not negative. It's just, that's your matter. That's your body. And 99.999% spirit. That's who you are. Can only shift things from the essence of who you are to move things and change things and not be totally connected to whatever is going on your outer world. So That brings me to the two kingdoms within you. This is another word for that is duality. So your desire is producing something to benefit you or not. Since you were made in God's image, so whatever you can, wherever He can, you can. So we could also look at it like this, like two kingdoms. Now, I love the analogy of the two kingdoms because it just describes what duality is, separation from actually everything that you truly are. I hope you're all with me. If you have any questions, type in something that you want to share, or if this is making sense, put your thumbs up so we can just keep on. We don't want anybody falling asleep here. We don't want you to miss out on this. So when you grew up, you were shown all kinds of ways to live and brought up in a belief system that ultimately does not serve ascending your consciousness or enlightening you. Probably noticed that's why you are here today. That's why we're on this journey. You end up in a program and live from a world that was created by you. The first kingdom, your kingdom. This kingdom is all about DIY and you being in control. Now, most of you probably know what I'm talking about here, the DIY self. Oh my gosh. No sleeping here, oh, great. So the DIY and being in control. Now, I think the control thing is everybody in this group and everybody I know is dealing with letting go of control, doing yourself, because this is the kingdom that you created yourself has to do DIY. Everything has to be done by yourself. This kingdom is all about protecting yourself. This kingdom, you live from a place where you created, and you have to keep yourself safe. You have to watch out. You have to work hard. It's all about you. You have to compare. You love, but it's conditional. You gossip. You live offended by many things, and you are stressed. Okay. This kingdom is fabricated, but feels so real because it's the way everything has always been, and most people around you have lived from this known place. It is a known, but then you awaken, you become aware that there is a kingdom far greater within you, a joy far beyond, and a love that is stronger than death. It is beautiful. That abundance is available, and that you are intricately entangled with wonder and beauty. It's within you. You discover that all along everything that you have been looking for is right here, right now. But you find yourself living from the old kingdom anyway. You find yourself getting sucked into staying in the old way of thinking and functioning. Why? So you jump from the new to the old. So you come from rest and then you worry it again and you go back and forth. And every time the things get tougher, and anytime you decide that from now on it's going to be different, yet you desire to live abundant field of possibilities right here now, and not always flipping back to old. Now, the kingdom that is created by you, unintentionally, this is not judging it, is rooted in self. It is rooted in your own health. And you created it so that you could make it through life. It's not that we judge this, that it was the way it was. You don't want to judge this, because as soon as you judge it, you actually there's no transformation, because you are judging yourself and you're feeling bad and guilty and shame. And that is all linked to this old alter ego. Now, it is all connected to our emotions. As I said before, remember what your desire will be produced all around your life. It will be seen in your environment. So this means your alter ego that was created thrives on emotions to keep it alive. It wants to keep it being the foundation of your life now and in the future. So for your alter ego to exist, the focus has to be on how you feel whenever something happens, which produces a known feeling of safety, because you only know how to do it that way. So chemicals are released in your body and thrives on the known. Your body knows it. It feels good. Although it's not good for you, it just feels safe. It's the known. Because you guys, you ladies and gentlemen, you know When we start doing what I'm going to share with you and what I've been sharing with you, and you start surrendering and releasing that energetic frequency or the vibrational information that you have been using, you kind of feel it is so weird in the beginning, because you go, how can I just allow this person to be an idiot? How can I just allow my bank account to be this? Yet, the beauty, the golden nugget, the answer isn't allowing for it. It allows for opportunities to pitch up in your life. It allows for solutions to be created, because as soon as you resist something, we look at our bank account, we resist that it's in minus, we don't like it. It causes such suffering, because you as a spiritual being, energetic being, is always in flow, and that's your natural process. And when you resist, whatever is there persists. It just gets stuck, and you cannot see a way out. It's you actually coming from the essence and the sense of lack. You're coming and you're staying there, because there cannot be movement if you're resisting something. And like I said, sometimes it's just weird to do it, because how can I allow for my bank account to be this way? But when you do, and when you let it go, and you let the emotional go, and you let go of this personal identification with your bank account being what it is, I don't know who I'm speaking to here, but what happens is it frees you to be able to believe there's something greater within you, and the answer is within you. And that is amazing. So, okay, where was I? So the alter ego, to exist, we said, the focus has to stay on how you are feeling, okay? Your lower vibrational frequency, you'll keep on going back to that. The kingdom, the field of possibility that we desire to live on, only functions from love, gratitude, peace, oneness, and calmness. As, what is the name there? Florence Scovel-Shinn says so well, your ship only comes in over calm seas. When you look at a tornado, there's a reason it was created like this. In a tornado, there's a calmness in the eye of the storm. It doesn't mean you're not aware of the storm. You see, this is that we're not ignoring what's going on. We're aware of it, but we're not identifying with the outer part of it. We identify with the calmness. We know who we are and we look in this beautiful, calm reflection of who we truly are. And you can actually then walk this out from love, peace, and gratitude. It's letting go. It's surrendering to the divine love, these emotions that are not serving us anymore, without judging it. But we're going to go to the next slide, which is talking about what we're going to discuss now. Is to live from the kingdom, you need to know that you are the observer. So he said this class today was about, how do I stop everything governing me? You become the observer. So you are spirit energy, as we had just said, and everything about you is always in motion. Because I love the bubbles, because that also, I'll maybe bring that in what I'm going to talk about here, bring that into the discussion. As we said before, when you become the observer, you are living from the true kingdom within, in a solid foundation. You are rooted and grounded in love, and you are not moved by external circumstances, whether it is to do with health, relationship, or any challenge that comes your way. Now, does this mean, like I said, you're not aware of it? No, we're not going to go there. We're saying, oh, well, it's all good and lovely. No, we are aware of what's going on. You definitely notice things and are aware of what is happening around you, but we do not live by the emotional responses anymore. We do not let those emotional responses govern us anymore. So you become the observer. Now, what does the observer do? First of all, you let go of the personal identification with what's going on. You let go of the feeling that it's about you. You let go of the feeling that it's against you. You get a different perspective. You get the perspective of the observer. Now, you as God in your true essence in nature, like I said before, is he worried? So you don't have to be worried because you are like him. You are living out of his abundance, no matter what is going on. So how do we practice this? There are many ways today to surrender to love. I mean, some people do tapping, people do this surrendering, I think it's hovering method. And most of the methods that people use, it's about surrendering these emotional, lower vibrational frequencies, because it's not truly who you are. And all the things that you are, the true essence of you is there. It's not somewhere else. It's not, you don't have to go and get something from somewhere else. The light is within you. So there are many, like I said, there are many ways you can do this today. Tapping is another way. It's also a way of release. But how do we do the letting go? We practice surrendering our emotional attachments to whatever it is that contracts us. For instance, you being personally attached to whatever is going on. This is not that we judge that you are personally attached. How do we test if we are personally attached? You notice you get upset, you're offended, you're triggered. All these things are good if you notice it, because it's telling you, you can surrender those feelings. And the more you surrender them, the more your true nature comes to the surface. It's just like a shadow. It's just a shadow. It's nothing. It's a shadow of what you truly are. So it feels real because we're so used to living from there, but it's just a shadow. So now we're going to do a little exercise, just like we did in the beginning. But I would like you to now think of somebody who irritates you right now. Maybe so you can think somebody irritated you this week, or anyone that you feel are still something with somebody in your life that is still being unresolved. For a moment, take a deep breath. We're just going to deal with relationships for now. Now, when you do this, you can use it in any area of your life. It doesn't have to pertain to relationships, okay? But I'm going to do relationships. For a moment, once again, relax your shoulders. Take a deep breath and connect with the feeling. Could you please mute? Thank you. Okay, we'll start when we're all muted. Thank you. For a moment, just connect with that feeling if you think of that person or people the best you can. It could be somebody that drove in front of you this week. We think it's so normal just to go scream at them. This is not good for you. Every little thing you do without guilt, if you do it, because we deal with it, has a ripple effect. It's called the butterfly effect. Scientists say if a butterfly bats his wings, then there's an effect across the whole galaxy. So this is truly important. So for a moment, just like I said, take a deep breath and connect with the feelings you feel when you think of this person. Now, it doesn't matter if it happened 3 days ago, 5 years ago, 10 years ago, it makes no difference. Because as spirit, we are out of time and space. So you can connect to something that happened where somebody said something horrible to you, and it could be a year ago, but we'd be dealing with it right now. Now, if there was some effects from somebody that said something 20 years ago, but you can't really remember, but you feel insecure since then, you can just deal with something that happened last week that made you insecure, but it probably has its roots there, but you don't have to go all the way back there, because this energetic frequency that carries the information of inferiority or insecurity will show itself all the time. So if you deal with it because of something happened last week where you felt insecure, it makes no difference. So let's get back to what we're doing. So if you sense you're thinking of this person or group of people or government, or we're taking people in this case, any feelings of hurt, could you just allow for the feelings that come up when you think of that person or persons for now? It could be that you're really, really angry. Remember, this is hurting you, and that's why we're sitting here today. Just allow those feelings of anger the best you can. Feel the anger as you see that person in front of you. It could be that when I spoke, sadness came up. Could you just allow for the sadness the best you can? It could be that in this scenario, like I said before, you trying to control or needing and wanting control what is going on in this relationship. Could be that the person is not even aware that you're mad at them, or a relationship that broke up before, or ex-husband. It doesn't really matter. Everything we are dealing with needs to be dealt with in the now, because that will keep you in the past. A minute ago is the past. And when you keep on thinking and living from the emotional rest or the residue of the past, it causes such suffering. Any loneliness or any feeling of wanting and needing that person's approval, that it really upsets you because you're trying to control the way they give you attention. Maybe you're sensing there's wanting and needing acceptance from your part. You need them to acknowledge that you are alive. Could you allow that just to be the best you can? Now keep it simple. It's just allowing for what feelings. And this you could do 3 times over, and every time it will become lighter. It will affect all areas of your life, because this is an holistic approach. Holistic, and it covers all areas. You'll see it will affect other parts of your life. And now the main thing I think most of us do is, could you allow for the personal identification with the situation the best you can? We're not judging that you're personally feeling involved, that it's about you, but could you just let it go? Now that one might need to take a few times over. Now just once again, think, as we started, think of this person. If you have a person that you're thinking of, or a group of people or whatever, is it a bit lighter? Now, every time, if there's still a bit, you can sense the contraction, like you feel it on your heart. You feel your heart contracting when you think of a person. That's a sign that there's energetic, lower vibrational frequency that it's stopping your heart from opening up and being that who you truly are. It closes your heart off. And that's why it is so incredibly important what we are saying here today. And make it as real as possible for you. So remember, this type of attachment cannot serve everyone. Your personal attachment in this way, this low vibrational entanglement to the other person, causing a relationship never to be resolved, because you are entangled with a person in a lower frequency, which then would hold them. It's like putting them in a cage. When you forgive, you go through this process and you let go and you allow them to be who they want to be, things are resolved, and you let go and you release the relationship to God, and you release it to the universe, and allow it to come back to you the way it's supposed to, if it's supposed to come back to you. The thing is, that is also good. Could you allow something to release something, to really true radical surrender is a life of non-resistance, where you truly let go of the people and allow them to be in your life or not in your life. And then most of the time, when we truly let go and we actually get out, the alter ego is out of the way, things start happening in your life. And this is in every single area of your life. So now we are going to be talking about, so now that is the general surrendering. Now you have all areas of your life where you can use this in a practical way. And I always say to people, even if somebody drives in front of you and you get all freaked out, allow the person, I always check, okay, I allow it to be the way it is. And I just bless that person. Remember, love your neighbor as yourself. Pray for those you hate or hate you. Pray for those who don't do good to you. So what is praying? As we heard, you are a house of prayer. Wish them good things. Forgive them. Allow them to be who they are, because you are getting free. You are awakening more and more every day, the more you do that. So this is so much about you and everybody, but more about you. So if you're finding fault at anything besides looking within and seeing, okay, why did that trigger me? Why did that upset me so much? Because there's some entanglement, and your true desire, like I said, I know you're sitting here because you want to be free. Now, the true freedom, to be aligned with freedom, we would love you to become aware of how powerful you are. Because aligning with freedom and walking this out, we're sitting here today and you go out in the world or you go home and all of a sudden you're very aware of everybody's frequency. This happens a lot of times. Sometimes you get so heightened and so free and so on a high vibration, all of a sudden you notice everybody's vibration and you're like, oh, okay, why is that triggering me so much? Notice when you start doing this, you can go and watch this again. Anything that comes up, don't question it. Don't try and figure it out. Allow you wanting and needing to figure things out. Allow it all the time. Because as soon as you try figuring things out, it gets so complicated. Just allow it to be. When you lose your keys, allow the fact that you lost your keys. You know, us women, I mean, I would say us women, but it's a general thing and it's a laughing thing in my house. Everybody laughs about this because there's a key drawer and I never put my keys in that drawer. And I have keys have been everywhere. I know I have good practice with allowing this and so many other examples. So the emotional attachment to the old kingdom. Okay, why would we come into a community and do this? Because it's easier to walk this out in revelation and surrendering in community. It really scares so many people since they cling to their personal right. Oh, hang on a sec. One of the things that really scares people is when I also say, or when we at Quantum You say, this process, what happens in this process? It's a process of becoming no one. Now, I've had many people they do not like this, but the misunderstanding is when we say you need to become no one to become someone, the no one is the alter ego you built needs to dissipate into love. So you know who you are as love. This really scares and people cling to their personalities, their personal realities, you know, I call it personal realities like Joe Dispenza, and identifies with the shadow of who they really are. And, you know, becoming no one only means that you let go of the alter, like I said, the alter ego, and allow divine spirit to be your essence only. It becomes your source, not logic, not the government and what they're doing and what they're not doing, and not someone's opinion of you, not someone loving you or not loving you, not someone's approval or acceptance, not your job, not your friends, not your husband, not your children, etc. I mean, you can probably make a list. When you rely on the above to affirm us personality, if you use that to affirm who you are creating everything. You are creating the kingdom built on sand, and it will never be enough. So we need to become no one to become someone by letting go of what does not look like the real you. Now, we support our members in walking this out every day, and it's amazing to witness the transformation. You discover you are approved, you're loved, you're enough, you're accepted, you're abundant, without being complicated, because sometimes people make transformations so complicated, but you must be able to use this in your day. Whether you're standing at the supermarket queue, or you're standing in the bank, or you're sitting at home, you must be able to apply this in your daily life. And being loved through your process. Now, discovering that you never, ever have to feel condemned ever again. You allow for your feelings. You allow for your guilt. You allow for your shame. You discover the world of non-resistance, where you discover how to live in the now presence and ease, where you discover that God is within you and that this allows you to feel exhilarated because you are, like I said, you're like a hologram, the essence of God, everything that He is. In this wonderful partnership of the universe responding to your deep yearnings by letting go of your unintentional creations. Now, I'd like to make a pause, just take a pause for a moment and let, I think, one of our members just share their journey with you, being in the membership, and then we'll just come back I have a few, and it's just beautiful because remember, connect with the testimony of Debbie. So Debbie, I'm just going to let you come in here. Hang on a sec. You can unmute. Where is Debbie?
There I am. Can you hear me?
Yes, but I have to just find again. There you are. I've just got all of you online now. When you speak, I think I'll put it on speaker view, and then you like this, and now you start speaking. You've unmuted. I'll just mute myself.
Okay, is that me?
There, go for it.
Okay. Well, do you know, I think I have been a member of the community since maybe about February. And I have found it so helpful. What Ranelle was saying about being in the community and just being surrounded by this new way of thinking, it has helped me so much. Definitely has transformed the way I approach life. But here's the thing, I can still swing back to the old way. And actually having the constant reminders in the Facebook group and the lives, which are every other week, just keeps you grounded, And I've actually never found before an online community where you actually feel like you have got to know people. And now whenever I come on the lives and I see Leslie there and Kathy and Erica and Carol and various other ones, I'm like, oh, right, I wonder how they're doing now and I wonder what's happening there. And actually, we keep it really real. And I think that's the other thing that is so precious about this community, because nobody comes on and kind of pretends like everything's absolutely fantastic when there is an issue that you're dealing with. And always my biggest deal with this kind of stuff is when I have encountered things before about the law of attraction or the law of abundance or these various things, there doesn't seem to be the nuance with it. And I find it a nuanced thing here. We can discuss what our issue is, and you're never criticized. You're never made to feel small for that being the issue. And then you can just actually be very real about it, accept it, and then get into a place where you can actually release that and move on, feeling a whole lot lighter and better at the end of the day. So I think that's probably the main thing I've got out of this, transforming the way I do approach things, and also actually having a community I can come to when there are issues. So thank you. Thank you. I really appreciate it.
Share a little bit about how you, as well as getting a direction in setting up your coaching business that you've been trying to do so long. How's that changed since you've been in the community?
Well, probably one of the biggest things is having had some coaching with you, Ranelle, privately, one-to-one. I've been able to see the journey that I have been on with launching my own business. I can see how that journey has benefited me, and I couldn't see that before. And I very much feel like the things that I've learned here in Quantum U were things that my business was waiting to learn, if that makes any sense. I don't know if I've managed to express that. It's kind of like, let's say this had been successful 2 years ago before encountering Quantum U. Perhaps there would have been something really major missing from what I can offer to the world. So definitely that aspect of accepting the reality of the journey as it is, and then actually seeing the beauty and the benefits of that. Whereas before, all I could see was hope deferred, there's been delay, it's not fair, what have I done wrong? And actually, no, this has been the perfect journey. And I'm actually here now in a much better place to be able to support and help people along in their own journeys.
Thank you so very much. That is beautiful. And yes, we love having Debbie. I love having you there. Forgive me, I see the testimonies is written wrong. This is so woo, you know, when you check everything, and that is, but maybe it's to show us we all okay. So thank you, Debbie. And
Thank you.
yeah, thank you so much. And then I would also like, I think I asked, I don't know if Delilah is here to share a little bit about what has changed for her life. Is she here? I don't know. I can't see. I don't know. Leslie, can you see her? Is she not? Okay. Then Leslie, you can share a little bit. You're about to send to something else now, but share a little bit what is it meant for you.
I think, I've been with Quantum U since the beginning, and when you started, and it's just been over a year, and I have grown exponentially. What's the word? Exponentially, whatever. Anyway, I just found it unbelievably beneficial in so many ways. It's opened my eyes and understanding into who I actually am. You've talked today about being all powerful, and wow, prior to that, I had really very little idea of who I really was created to be. I've found it also absolutely wonderful, as I think Debbie also touched on, how when there have been things in my life, and things have come up, and oh gosh, crisis, not sure how to deal with this. Oh my word, it's been incredible. Ronelle or Ashley have always been there to help, to assist me, to guide me through it, to guide me through releasing and letting go. The letting go process has been absolutely incredible. I wouldn't ever have thought that, and it took me a while to pick up on it, I must say. I kept thinking, no, am I getting this right? Is this really doing anything? And I'm not really feeling any different or anything, but it has really, really brought more and more and more release of things, and more understanding that when I do release, that those things are not, it's as you said, Ronelle, it entangles you to something or someone. And I no longer, I can release, and then no longer feel that attachment to that particular thing or person or situation, which is just awesome to me. I've also found it wonderful that we are a community, that we are a group of people that also support each other. If something's put on to the group, then it's not only Ronelle or Ashley that comment. There are others that are wonderful. I mean, amazing feedback sometimes that comes through from other people on the group that have really contributed to just helping me or encouraging through a situation, or I just wanted to say that you were talking earlier about just in rest and letting go. I had someone who I know great, and who was saying to me the other day that they'd been looking for accommodation for some time, and they'd really been around and around and around, and eventually they were walking up the road and said, gosh, I just actually cannot do this anymore. I'm done with this. And the next minute, the person had a thought in their head to go and contact somebody who they were just passing by, and the accommodation was completely solved, and he found something, and it was all. So it's just amazing how we hold on to things. So we do become attached to things so easily, and finds it difficult to let go of something, because it sort of becomes part of us. And the moment we do, it just sort of becomes
thank you.
a nothing. Anyway,
Leslie, I just want to add to that exactly what you were saying. And most people would then say, God came through at the last second, but it's because you got out of the way. Universe and God responded to you just moving out of the way. And yet we always say that was coming from somewhere. It just like it gets to a point, most of the time is when somebody is trying to get pregnant. And in many, I'm not saying this is always the case, but the friends that I know, when they've said, oh, I'm just giving up, then they fall pregnant after 10 years. Thank you so much, Leslie. That is wonderful.
Thank you. Bless you. You're so amazing. And always there.
And thank you so much. Kathy, would you just give us a little testimony, what is transformed for you since you've been in the group?
Sure. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, can you come on? Yeah, can you put your video on?
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, I thought it was. There we go. Okay, well, I have been in the Quantum U membership group since May, and being brought up most of my life in the wrong mindset, which probably most of us are, and then starting to learn all this, it's good to have a solid community to come to and be surrounded by such positive people that they can uplift you at the right time. You can reach out personally to them, which I did. And I have just been so grateful and thankful for the connections of all these wonderful people here. I can go into that group, I can scroll and read, I can go on the website and I can find a session, even one that I've already been to, and re-listen to it. And the sessions are so powerful and so life-changing. The one this summer was just off the charts. It was, I can't think of the name of it right now, but it was just amazing. And it's so valuable for us as we're growing and moving into this new kind of flow, that we connect with others, because when I start going off, I found that I had the strongest support around me, and it helped me come back together and just get right back on the right path. And that is invaluable. And I'm so appreciative of it all. And I just love that it helps to bring out your gifts and your callings, and it's just all good. I'm just so blessed to be here. It's just been wonderful, and definitely a divine journey for me.
Thank you so much, Kathy. We love having you there too. So it's divine for us. So thank you so much for sharing that, because I know it's beautiful to watch your transformations. It really is. We're walking this through with you, and that's so special. I know, Regina, you said you would like to say something. If you could just do a short share something, and then we'll come back and finish off and do our Q&A with all of the rest of you. So do you want to share, Regina?
Test. Hi. What I could share is everything everybody else said also, but for me, coming from a Christian background, I didn't grow up in the church, but been in it, for 15 to 20 years now, and Quantum U has given me tools or ways to connect, the things that I read in the Bible, and that I never knew exactly how, the joy. I always read about that and I thought, okay, I didn't know how it works, and also and the miracles, all the spiritual stuff, all the unearthly stuff that you do read about all the time, and it's never explained in any church how it, I thought it just happens if you're a really, really good girl. Sometimes it did also, but and to really, it's been like a tool to bring it together, to bring it all together, and to really make it real in my life. And that's something really, really, really precious. I can't. I mean, I've been hearing God like never before, because now I know exactly where He is.
Thank you,
So.
Regina. I mean, when I met Regina, it was you've transformed, but you've become so much lighter. It's really been so beautiful to watch, and it's with everybody. Every one of you I've met. The joy thing that you're just mentioning is so big, because there's a lightness in every single one of you. So I just want to thank you. And just for the sake of time, I know Carol didn't volunteer before, so we can, if Carol wants to mention something when we just go off the recording, you can do that, Carol. Okay, I'm just going to finish off, and then we're going to go on to Q&A for those of you that are live here. So let's just move on. I want to share with you from what everybody was saying. What does that mean for you? The reason why it's not just that we want to come on here and promote the membership, but when you have good news and when you have something to share, you want to do it with the rest of the world. You want to offer your gold nuggets, and whether you decide to come on and take hold of this offer or not, you can take what we said today and use that in your daily life, like I said before. So the point of this is not to say, oh, we're trying to sell you something. We are offering you an opportunity to really become part of a community where your life will change. So when your life transformed, you can be there for others. And what I find so great about this, so many of the ones in the lovely ones in the membership groups have stepped up and become contributors of Quantum U. That we are going to do a masterclass with Debbie in 2 weeks' time, and she's become the most amazing, beautiful frequency coach. And then we have Kathy. She's going to step out and do her spiritual mentoring. We don't know exactly what that's going to look like yet, and Leslie has started, she's gone and started, she started getting excited about putting gratitude on pottery and looking into that. And with so many examples, I mean, Carol paints and she does so many beautiful things. We kind of spoke about what her business opportunity is with regarding cards and offering her beautiful artwork on cards, which she was doing anyway, and becoming a real home, how would I put it, a household name in that sense, because I love cards and I think it's so beautiful. And many examples. We really feel that when you come in this group, it's not just about you transforming, it's about you awakening to your true gifts that's always been there, and that we can assist you to draw those out and go and do something that you truly desire to do in whatever capacity. And if it means just being there for your kids and your husband in a beautiful way, but being in a transformed way, in a loving way, and being transformed from the inside out, that people say, wow, what is it about this person? Why are they so different? Because your amazing calmness. And by calmness and rest, I don't mean you just don't do anything, but opportunities then just show up in your life that you would never have thought possible. So we want to just, in this membership, we wanted to offer you 30-day free, which is on the website at the moment, but include a one-on-one just with you to kick you off, to be grounded in surrendering to love. And in this community, like some of you lovely ones have mentioned, we do 2 sessions a month with Ashley Douglas. Some of you might know her from Mike Popovich, and she's in Colorado Springs, my partner, and she's really, really, really good in intensely dealing with whatever challenges might come up, and we both support you daily regarding that. And also supporting you, and like I said, setting up your own business and opportunities that come up in your life where you can discuss it with us. And that for $67 a month. Now, some people say, but that's so much. And I can tell you from food prices, it is time we invest in ourselves. So I'm not going to do a speech about the value of $67 that you can decide for yourself, but it's time you look after yourself so that the world can change. It's not about going out there and running around all over the place and saving people from something. It's about, who am I in this world today? And your attitude and your perception about you being enough, you understanding you are the light of the world, you are the one with the smallest, in the minutest way, has a huge effect in the future of this world. So I want to thank you, and guys, stay online for the Q&A right now, but I want to thank you for all of you who watched the recording. Thank you for being, and thank you for taking the time to join us today on the Sunday. Okay, goodbye. You guys don't left. I'm just going to stop the recording.